Guys, welcome. Come on in, join us. We're going to go track by track of the new record with the writer of all the album, me. Just kidding. Welcome to the... this isn't a podcast, really.
This is
a discussion. Vidcast.
Mm-hmm. Long-form discussion.
Yeah. Open-ended.
Better. Chestier.
Yeah.
There's no plan tonight, as you can see, but
we gotta look up to the Lord to talk.
That's right.
Yeah, don't mind the floating participle, as they say over there. We gotta make do. The album in question, boys, is called Ora Prima. What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
I was thinking, I said, let me dive into my Latin knowledge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, prima, like first, and ora usually is like something to do with this, so I first mouth. Okay.
That's great.
I'm sorry. I thought of that
was
in
quite
the shower today.
That was quite
and it
good.
made me laugh.
Yeah, I have not Googled it yet. I'm assuming it's something, it's two separate things you've combined, if I had to guess.
It like first word is original word or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Or is it a last name? I got it right.
That was Uncle Nathan flying the W. I named it that, and every time I see it, I think it means like our time with Apple App. Like that's just what it looks like.
Japanese guys. Yeah. Yeah.
I came up with that title years ago, and I do not remember what it meant to me then. It is Italian, and it translates to sneaky sneak. Track 11 is just a little bridge,
The little quick thing.
and it's called Now Before, and that's what it translates to.
Oh. Dadgummit.
I
Okay.
missed it. Okay.
So,
Yeah. And there was a moment today when I was listening to that, and I went, man, I wonder what that means.
yeah, you're right. No, that's what I mean, though. That's what it translates to. And because I was working at the coffee shop, and I just saved it for later. And
Now, comma before?
yeah. And so it must have just meant like some kind of introductory. Now I like it just because it's. There is no, like now it's totally free of explanation, even from the origin.
That's cool.
So it's not first mouth?
No. Anyway, so there you go. That's the name origin. First mouth.
Now, before we begin.
Yeah. Well, see, just saying that's
But it is,
surely what I meant.
but it's separated, right?
Yeah. Which is odd.
Now before?
Because even, let me just translate it really quick, because...
It's kind of like, here we go, like, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Now, before we get started.
Yeah. Please turn off all.
Mm-hmm.
If you direct translate it, it's hour, like time, hour before.
Oh, you got time.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. Screw you.
Yeah.
This second album is infinitely more... I always called it like arena rock sounding compared to the first one. The first one's more homey and contained.
Yeah, definitely. A lot less bright.
Dad pointed this out the other night. He was like, "Is there an acoustic guitar on it?" Like, I layered some, but I was like, "No, there's no."
Yeah, but the first one had
Tons.
tons. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it was weird. Like, for me, it's weird that was the first one.
Yeah.
That's not really
You.
my MO.
Yeah.
I don't know if you picked up on this, but musically, I like that the first song doesn't have a second verse. It has a second first verse that doesn't fit.
Kind of.
But it
Continues.
it flows. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Hey, sound guy. Let's yeah.
It's just C, A minor, G.
Makes sense.
Which this is fun too. The choruses are the same progression. There's no change in chords.
Separation.
And yeah. So it's still...
There's so many.
Anyway, verse 2 then is...
I mean, it's a new song.
Yeah. C, F, G. Which is odd. Usually, yeah, there's tons of symmetry, obviously, in like pop songwriting. Just totally what that was going for.
How old's that song?
I was gonna say that song came like summer 2016.
Then I will say there is no more. That's the last of the poppy on that album,
Really?
in my opinion. I mean, yeah.
There's one towards the end I thought was pretty cool and poppy. It's not as quick.
That's true, though.
Realize?
Yeah. Well, obviously the ABBA covers pop.
Yeah, but it's so
Realize is
It's pretty
so modern,
modern is the
like
right
KOL ballady.
word. Yeah.
And then the last track, I told Kyle, is literally like synth pop. Like
it is.
it wasn't always that way. It was supposed to be not that way. I'm getting that confused. Yeah, but that's true. It's so.
I was gonna say this is a great album opener.
Yeah.
Song.
And I hate people who release the first song of an album.
As a single.
Yes, and yet this one it just had to be. That's just what it was.
That's why it's just a perfect opener.
Because it kind of feels like the whole album sounds like that, and it's definitely like the most upbeat and like the shortest. So
Yeah, it's made
it was.
for it.
It was always going to be. What's the song about? I'm curious what you two have to say about that.
Let me hear a snippet of it.
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
No, like, no, I didn't know if there was like biblical reference.
Not on this one, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if you meant lost to you, meaning like you're talking to someone.
Oh.
Like, or is it you're telling yourself like, I'm lost.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely that line is where it originated from. The latter thing you said.
Okay.
And then
Like the person's lost to that other.
correct. But there was another meaning that it was coming from. I mean, I don't want to give like concrete
Yeah.
things, but that's
Except
definitely where
for
that came
songs.
from. Yeah. The whole vibe is it stemmed from seeing KOL live that last time, being really close,
Oh wow.
and he I swear he just looked at me at one point.
Yeah.
Because I was that close.
Right.
And so the whole song, Forget That Now, is just rockstar guy seeing this very specific person.
Oh, cool.
More than once at a show.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I
a
never
cool-
would have put that together.
Cool vantage point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't have thought that.
And so now listen to the bridge because that's kind of the coolest thing. That somehow meant like he couldn't escape this person he saw. And that's what the secret life is. He's just a rock star, and obviously like
You ever seen the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg?
It's
He
long
sees
hair.
the kid in the crowd.
yeah. Well, maybe that's
That's
what it was.
That's very cool. I
Yeah,
like
that song is
Yeah.
is really like story based, and I'm not really good at doing that.
That's that.
All right, move on. I almost don't want to do the next one because we could do almost its own whole thing, which is.
Play it. Let me hear.
I mean,
Do you
what?
remember the working title of
I
that?
mean, what could we say about this song?
No, we'll work out.
Let me just say, this song I've always said is
so bad names.
the song is like the unofficial like theme song
Yeah.
of whatever this is.
Yeah.
This song used to be called SDH, which stood for something. Randomly, who knows? We were children. It was Stop Doing Heroin, which was just some weird joke. I don't know. And we used acronyms a lot,
Yeah.
like UHF. So this one was just SDH.
And a lot of our songs up to that point had been like critical of modern, like
Oh, yeah,
people
for
our
sure,
age.
for sure.
And that when we got lazy, went and also stop doing heroin.
Just stop.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I like to think most everybody knows about Lynn Haven.
Oh.
There's just not enough time in this to go over that. But we played together previously with Fowler, and this was one of those songs.
Yeah, I've been aching to hear this one recorded.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
This was like a senior year song, or junior year actually, because right before. Just that riff, and that's all. I just had the riff.
Yeah.
We called it SDH or Young the Giant, and those two were always interchangeable.
And when we recorded or tried to record it at the barn, that was our first time hearing it. Like you had to teach us that.
Yeah,
day.
right.
Yeah.
So like as soon as it came on, I was like, oh, dear Lord.
And at the end, we'll probably get to it, but like the slow down and all that.
Well,
I was
yeah,
waiting on it, go, okay,
nothing's
let's see.
changed. Like, it's still, since day one, been that format.
And we might have had thrown some like random lyrics together, or Fowler maybe.
Yeah, there was.
No, you don't even care. Keeps.
Yeah. There was
Go ahead,
more
yeah.
than 2 full set of lyrics.
Yeah.
And this one, I never had my own. And then one day, finally, I just sat down and like just kept playing that riff, and it was a real, what's that phrase? Like stream of consciousness, where I just write it down and then try to phonetically put it together, and ended up coming with like one of my most proud set of lyrics ever.
Oh. Well, I mean,
So much so that I'm not even gonna play it. I'm just gonna read them out. And
well, I already told you like it was so cool to. at the end. It was the culmination of the entire.
We'll explain what we're mumbling about.
I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing something physical.
Exactly.
You probably saw me go.
No, dude, totally me too. I stopped my machine and went.
Yes.
It's one of those things. The song's called "No Place Like Time," by the way. We forgot to mention that. It's still new to me. It's always SDH. I wrote a set of lyrics where every line ended with a phrase that was SDH, like some don't hear something
I did not
like that.
realize that.
No, that was an old song, and those lyrics sucked.
Okay.
So I rewrote it.
Gotcha.
The title comes from a Twilight Zone episode. It's a season 4 episode, that's why you don't know it immediately. And it's not even No Place Like Time. It sounds something like that. Okay. And so I wrote that down. The overall theme is, I told Dad, it's kind of my version of his song, Sing Your Song. And it's just about the never-ending search for whatever that is. Just about the
quest,
unending quest of music and whatever that is. Like, to slightly get off topic and reference Dad's song, the more you go like, all right, seriously, I'm done. Get out of here, you stupid animal.
Yeah, right.
You go, and you go, dang it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But then you're like, okay.
It's wild.
I finally got to the point I said, okay, I'm done.
And no one will ever understand it unless you're a creative
which is
musician.
cool and really annoying. And it's also a weird, because it's called No Place Like Time, it's the weird like relationship of time and sound, but that is so unconcrete that I don't even know what that means. You search to find the meaning of time, and when nothing is found, you'll hear the sound. The music comes to you when you're trying to do other things. You'll hear the sound that pulls your mind apart as you try to find the truth that lies in the darkest place that you'd never think to hide. It's what you do every time, and there's no place like time.
Dang.
Amen.
That's verse 1.
That's the quote that I sent it to you on that piece of paper.
Yeah, I just had it.
I don't know if I shared that with you, but he wasn't even a musician. He's just like I don't even know, psychologist or whatever. Somebody, he just said music is numbers made audible.
Oh, I do remember you talking about that.
Okay.
Yes.
And
I don't understand.
The chorus is that whole theme made very evident. And if you think you've heard the sound that we all long to hear, you better think again. It's in the place you'd least expect us. It's in the place you'd least expect it to be hiding from us all. We all must fall. I threw in that line just as a real humbling reminder. It has nothing to do with the song. Just
by the way,
just if you do find the sound, you're gonna fall as well. And we've always said that, like any hit song, there's a hook about it, and so that's just the search.
And every time you're trying to be creative, it's an elusive fish. You can't. Yeah. It's slippery.
It's like JR in the water.
Exactly. Oily.
Forget it, dude.
Cisco.
Or you often hear the artist will say, like, "Oh, I hated that song."
Oh,
and that's
exactly.
That's always the hit, you know.
Well, that's it's in the place you'd least expect.
Exactly. Yeah. But like when we were in our heyday, and we exactly knew, like, no, right there, do too. Like we just knew what that meant.
It was like unfair to anybody else.
Oh, so
who was
unfair.
around.
And to this day, we'll never know any other musician who will.
So yeah, and watching them in that space,
Yeah.
it's like, oh crap, they're
Yeah.
good.
I don't think we'll do it tonight. The first album, that's the whole meaning of the first track. High in the Air is like us three, and like
Yeah.
we're unstoppable when we're all in one group.
I was like, oh, that is every time I've tried to write something, musically write something, try to film. Like,
Yeah.
if you're trying too hard and you keep and then at that point you go, I'm lost. Where was the original
Yeah. Where's the
starting
idea?
point?
Totally.
So it's when the lightning in the bottle effect happens.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That's what it's all about.
Ask George Lucas.
Please welcome to the show, Leonard Maltin, by the way.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Verse 2.
I love how it just it's very long.
So long, dude.
Like, I love it though. It's so unique.
I'm glad you think so, because, well, I just because I created it, I don't care so much, but like, whenever I was listening to it, it doesn't feel like a long song. The whole thing. The whole album doesn't even, feel
I
that
know,
way.
it goes quick.
I'll say,
But
it
it's almost an hour, which is
these
unacceptable.
days- Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
So sorry about that. Kinsey, I don't know, like something.
That, I know we already talked about the overarching, but the fact that you just said that, it is it is a giant album, whereas the first album was a good collection of songs.
My buddy Wesley just texted me tonight. He said, "Good job, it sounds good." He was like, "The whole album is so cohesive, and yet not one song sounds like another song."
Oh.
I was like, "Dang,
That's really good.
that's interesting."
He
Synopsis.
articulated that way better
Yeah,
than
he's so handsome, dude.
dude. Go.
Verse 2, I brought it back in. The last line of verse 1 was, "There's no place like time." We come back. No, there's no place like time. No, there's no place like time. Don't believe in your lies. Your thoughts hold no bound, and they'll return to the sound. Yeah, yeah. It's the sound that binds us all together with a hook, a pull, a simple little tone that hones in on what you want to feel or taste or smell or see or hear. Here is the time. Now is the sound.
I didn't notice that one.
It's simple as a flower. Stop doing heroin.
Obviously, I heard you saying the here and that, but couldn't make sense of the whole.
But see, I like.
time.
There's a
how
lot of
long
alliteration
drawn
there.
out. That whole, it's not just so choppy. Verse chorus.
Yeah.
That idea continues to get drawn out,
Mhm.
and then it's musically, it's building up.
Yeah.
The whole.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, that thing is cool with a simple little tone that hones.
Yeah.
That was like,
And then you
that
did
was
it
a
again.
poetic. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, our dad had a band in the 90s. They released a song called, or that whole album was called Flower. And yeah, that was kind of the main
Little throwback.
line of that song was "It's simple as a flower," and so yeah, to connect the two, and that was also going back to the original idea of saying SDH somewhere in the song rhymed with Sonic Discovery.
Perfect.
Also, if you think about the idea of simple as a flower,
It's amazing, yeah.
the music can be very simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
Yeah. And that's the whole, I think I've said this before, the name Sonic Discovery Hour, it just happened. SDH was what we already had, and so I just plugged a bunch of different things in and that popped up.
Yeah.
And it's just a general, cool explanation of what this all is. It's just discovering things.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to sound like The Twilight Zone. Like it could be an old TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
The outer limits.
Chorus repeats, then it goes into the cool solo part, which was always, even in when Avon was inspired by Nels Cline, just real kind of rapidly fast lines.
And I love the little run.
Yeah, right.
It's really good.
That one I spent too much time on,
Really?
and I should have just recorded it instantly and gotten it. I did too many takes, and I'm not
But I like it still.
ultra happy.
For me personally, it's still got the original feel the
Yeah.
lead does of when we played.
Yep. And it was impossibly hard to not record it live, so for that part I had to with the metronome cut out sections to slow down incrementally, and to hide the imperfections I added that crazy like sweeping synth thing. And this part is inspired by We Are the City. They would do some kind of time signature change and just that crazy washy ride that I'm slapping on there. Yeah, get back to it. And that's that.
The theme song of this project.
Yeah.
It's just the overall idea
That
for sure.
definitely captures it for sure.
It segues into a cover song,
Dude, that
which is unintentionally huge.
Little intro.
I'm a sucker for this track, but just by the time the actual song is kicked in, and of course that progression's just however you're gonna play it genre wise, it'll sound good. But that it's good.
Yeah, they're just like the best pop songwriters.
Whatever that is.
And I always wanted to do a cover because one day I was listening to it and the original track is and I was like, just double time it. So it's the same exact tempo as their song, it's just double time.
Yeah.
And it instantly sounds like a modern like rock.
Me and Margaret listened
track.
to, because we have your CDs in the blue car.
Yeah, you're right.
And we have the ABBA one. So
Nice.
I showed her the original.
Very cool.
And I did notice, I was like, in my head, I thought it was like, your version was way faster.
Yeah, so fast.
But then I was like, actually, it's...
Isn't that
that
weird?
would've pulled me,
I think
yeah.
I looked their tempo up and like just
gotcha.
multiplied it.
Yeah.
The intro I did because I'm not gonna attempt to do their intro. I can't sing, and so it started with that synth line, and then it just kept adding, and it's
so big.
huge.
Yeah.
It's unintentionally huge.
Very cool.
And yeah, I mean it's impossible to try to be as good as them, so that's why it's so like extravagant.
Yeah.
Just had to build myself up.
And I like album placement. That is a perfect. I did take you down to No Place Like Time, but all right, now we're back. Let's go.
True.
The third song or fourth, that
keeps you back in the groove.
Absolutely.
Is there any, in your heart, is there any ode to Carmen Nooch in there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just that vibe.
That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's implied.
And I was
family.
so excited for the Falconians to hear it, and the first person to text me out of everybody is Casey.
Cool.
She was like, the way my jaw dropped when that song came out or came on. I was like, good. I'm glad.
That's awesome.
Well, you had made a point after the first album release, like that one was a lot more, what's the word, reachable.
And that was definitely the idea. Like, I have to get a bunch of people on my board because that's about as normal as it gets.
Yeah.
I think. We'll see. That one's done. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I did my best. It turned out okay.
This feeds.
Now, leading into
Wog is interesting. Let me say, first and foremost, I screwed up on the upload.
Oh.
It's supposed to be all capitalized.
I really...
I don't know. Because Mom this morning, she's like, that weird one, like Wawejo or something. I was like, no.
Have you ever had them with periods?
I don't do any Ouija.
Maybe that's what... No, because I just like the way it looked, straight up.
Yeah.
Because now it looks like a weird Native American word is what I told you.
Yeah.
It is an acronym, and I've already said before, you're never going to hear from me what that means.
Oh, I love that.
So...
Yeah.
I'm glad...
It's a cheese.
Dang,
It's simple. I mean, you'll figure it out. It's simple.
Bahamas, dude. That is also... That's to me,
old.
this is where production quality is your... Like, this is your first intro to like, oh, crap. Because that... Now,
so crazy.
Now,
yeah.
you like, obviously we have a history with the song.
Yeah.
So if you first time listening...
Let me interrupt you and say it's the oldest song that probably will be recorded. And that was...
Wow.
Like, it was right around your graduation, so I was like 14 years old. With the music, clearly.
Man.
But yeah. So yeah, obviously a very long history with it.
I love that one.
That's what you were saying.
That's another one, like just like the second one. I was anticipating.
Yeah, and I always thought, I think that's one of the, I don't know, first or only, which is the right word to say, but like y'all wrote the drum track for it. And y'all
Correct.
showed me like what you wanted
like how
out
to
of the
play it,
song, which I always thought was cool.
Was
Yeah.
it at the barn? Or before that?
No,
this
much
is
before.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, usually he or you would bring a riff to the table.
Correct.
And we'd fiddle around. This one, he was like, I want this.
Yeah.
And it's cool that it's stuck around all the way till now.
But yeah, I just figured like it got this far. Let's just it might as well be.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's simple yet you've never heard. Or
I thought you were going sarcastic. Okay.
No. I've never heard that beat. You know what I mean? I mean, you have probably quicker, but
absolutely.
Cut all that out.
No,
everything about this sentence out.
I'm glad you said that. It's
but you know what I mean? It's not recognizable.
It's in the drum world. It's y'all. It's a version of y'all's L.
Yeah,
that's why I quickly went. It goes like that.
And luckily with headphones, it kind of does
bounce back.
Do that little pattern, like right ear, back, left ear, whatever.
Foot, floor, snare.
Do you know what that intro is? Oh, it cut out. It's just the drum beat backwards. Let me first say, I thought this would be the one that like instantly people would be like, okay. Like, it's a cool song. Musicians like it. Our family won't. And Shelby says it's like her favorite one.
What?
I'm like, I don't get this. She just like, the chorus evidently is very...
You don't know what it's like?
Catchy. Yeah, exactly.
It is.
I love when it goes to the lead. It's so good.
It opens up.
Yeah.
The floodgates.
Especially when the lead chords go back to the chorus.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
It's this one was always Pink Floyd-y. But like with this new version, the lyrics and the vocal take is like, I always got like an emo, like Nirvana vibe. So
Very
it's kind of a weird
Nirvana,
combination. The camera died, so the ending, the way we used to do it was the drum beat continues, after that long pause.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of disintegrates, and it still does for sure, obviously. But like that little lead thing was just fully off the cuff.
Really?
And instead of hitting pause, I just kept playing.
Cool.
I was like, that sounds cool.
We would literally dissipate it into like, we wanted it to sound bad.
And it definitely does now, but it's a little more like clean, concentrated or whatever.
Yeah.
The drums get like delayed and stuff.
Yeah, it's more structurally chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wog. Track 4. Oh yes, this is where it gets interesting. Track 4 is 5 is Little One. Little One.
Mm-hmm.
Lyrics and music written by Kyle Watley.
Okay, can I tell them what I told you the other day?
Yeah,
this is funny. I said, Gargle. I sat on that porch at Papa's house. I said, Little One is and I just meant, not even the vibe or anything, just the quality and the chord progression, I guess. I was like, this is your average sound. Like, this sounds the most like the first album in a very good way. And then, obviously, like you said earlier,
like
it doesn't sound like anything.
SDH was a band, this is like such a SDH song.
It's
and then
he said,
he went, that's funny, because Kyle wrote every bit of it.
It's a really fun song.
In the fact that you had this song and sent it to me, lyrics with the chords above them, but all I did was I just didn't listen to your demo.
That's crazy.
And so I just played it as I thought it should go.
It's crazy.
And since
that's
then,
what's real weird to me.
Oh, how cool.
So it is pretty...
Would you hear what he said? All he read was the lyrics and what chords I wrote when I wrote the song. It's just simple three chord song, but
I'm saying it's close to your version?
No.
No, not at all.
I see. Okay.
So it's really weird, but also incredibly cool.
So cool.
It's like a
to
new
see
song.
what he did with it.
So I'm glad when he said that's the SDH sound, I was like, that's cool that...
That's reflective of you.
It's really...
Yeah.
I think a lot of the success of the first record, all the good feedback, were those songs that you wrote and I touched.
There seems to be a theme here.
No, but it's so true. It's
Discovery Hour.
Just a good songwriting team is all that is.
Dude, that makes, as the third wheel, but in a good way, as the listener, that makes me so happy that I picked up on that, and it was
totally,
that's the reason. But something about the snowplow you, but the end of the chorus was the only other snowplow.
Yeah, these snowy little wieners. That's what came to mind.
Yes. The end of the chorus doesn't resolve. It stays at whatever that weird chord is, and your voice matched it, and it was unique enough that I was like, oh, that's creative. Anyway,
the song rocks. I love it. Besides the opening track, it's like the only like short, accessible song.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I didn't think your little high part in the beginning, I didn't think it was high until y'all were texting about it, and in my car I tried it and went, okay, you win.
And I'm glad this is the story of what happened. That
I mean, is that an A? What is that?
Yeah, Zach looked it up. He said it was an A.
That's high, dude.
He that recording's from years ago, and it was going to be on the first album. And for whatever reason, it wasn't. Like 2 weeks before I uploaded it, I was like, forget it, and I added something. So to me, it's definitely it should be. I mean, it's the sound of the first album. Anyways, I was recording it, and for that vocal take, I hit record, and something went wrong, and so you hear me go, "Wow!" And then I literally, it just kept going, and I got that was an anger scream. And obviously, I did it purposely on key, but you hear me go up and try to find it, and then I just keep it.
So if you would have set out to try to hit that.
Well, there was no scream in the beginning. Like, it's not like a written part. I was just going to do the vocals, and I got ill.
No, if you know, like, Kirkland, or I'll say it for us, if you know Squirrel, then you know that tone when he said "wow." Like, it was a very much like annoyed wow.
I like the effect, but still said "wow, wow, wow."
Exactly. Yeah, so that was at the old house, that whole recording.
Gotcha.
And I kept it because I told you it sounds like those weird noises at the beginning of like "Sympathy for the Devil" with that delay, like it gave off that vibe.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I kept it. I mean, it makes me laugh every time. That's another reason why it survived.
Yeah, it's a fun one, fun to listen to.
Other than that, you wrote it.
Let me hear a lyric too. Let me remember if there's anything special.
What are those chords?
For the intro. It changes keys. That's what's so freaking impressive about this song.
5-4-1.
Yep. That lick was Wolfpack. I was listening to a lot of them, so that funky funk is where I came from.
Because me as a songwriter, it's very much personal.
Yeah.
Like people in my life. So
anytime you do that, because I've done a lot of your songs, I don't change lyrics that often. For this one, I didn't change anything. I didn't add anything. I didn't change anything.
That's curious.
But I'll say it's just a general tale about someone in your life who's being stupid.
Yeah.
And you're saying, come back.
Yeah.
Chill.
I literally took it, like, personally as like, oh, I've been there and will still continue to be there.
We all know somebody like that.
Exactly.
Did this guy come back?
Still trying to, but yeah.
Backing vocals. These boys aren't Beatles fans. They respect them. That's about it. The harmonies are fully pulled from a song that they do. And let me show you what it is. So that exact line somehow perfectly fit with your chords. So that if you caught that, congrats.
My favorite lyric, I remember writing that. I don't really know if it makes sense, but when you sing it, it doesn't really matter. But the chorus says, it's really long, drawn out. It's 4 words. Little one. And then the other part is, run, you ocean.
You ocean.
And I don't know.
So...
Really?
Yeah.
Open for interpretation, obviously, but like
when I wrote it,
so
was
big. Yeah. It's such a big lyric.
An ocean of pleasure seeking that'll never.
I think when I wrote it, it was more like the idea of like run back. You've got this entire life you could live.
Yeah, right.
In an ocean, or like you are an ocean. Like you have so many possibilities. Like why are you doing the But
it's also funny that high scream is the highest note I could probably sing, but that line ocean is the highest chest voice I can do.
Gotcha.
Like I can't even hit it in the song. I'm screaming.
Yeah.
So that's cool that both high notes are in the song, which is odd.
Yeah. Okay, and maybe that's why I picked up on like something was
He's starting to
beeping
break.
at me.
You're like,
Because
Oh, yeah.
I guess I was
It's so cool.
anticipating like, holy crap, is he about to hit that? And then where you landed, I went, that's lower,
Yeah.
but like it fits way well. Yeah, I like the way it fits.
I do that Robert Plant thing on that last one because I gave out.
oh yeah,
Whatever
that's
that
cool.
is, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that I keep the chorus chords for the lead. That's a cool thing. I like that lead a lot.
That is a good one too.
It was Steely. I stole so many lines from Steely Dan on
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
My family likes it. They said it's fun to listen to.
Cool. Yeah, it's absolutely a fun song. Ooh, Check the Gate.
2.
Something that y'all don't know anything about.
Can I
Like
just
this
say-
is just a new song to y'all, is what I mean.
Yeah.
The way it ends.
Let me
Oh,
hear a
that-
snippet.
that was
Sorry,
like,
so I can
oh,
make my
okay.
bearings straight. Check the gate so that dog don't get out. Yeah, I love this song. Super cool. I wish I could play it.
Yeah, I came up with that chord progression not that long ago. It was definitely the old house. We just kept it in my mind, and I know I was like, oh, it's gonna be fun to write that whenever I do. Yeah.
Can I ask, is that when we were playing a lot of Streetwalker? Not even that
Probably.
song, but that we were
Whenever we were jamming at that house.
a renaissance of like Young the Giant. That's like their
I got you.
second album type stuff, you know.
And the chorus is perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's such a in the music
Yeah.
sense. It's going from the key of B minor to the key of D, which is just a perfect little jump up to a
Minor to D.
major tonality.
I've always, this might even be off record, I've always considered that jump 4 or whatever, B to D or any
Whatever that is, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the most heroic. Maybe that's the wrong, but
It's what
like
you
a-
freaking feel.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but
Good
yeah.
point.
I'm sorry.
It's funny. I know you know what the title means. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
The working title up until the day I uploaded it was Final Take, because the lyrics deal with just the situation that you're done with. Kind of, everything starts specifically, and then I intentionally write it to where,
It can fit multiple.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just a common thing that everybody goes through.
You're talking about check the noise gate, right?
Yeah. No, just this specific thing that keeps hurting you, and you're like, screw this, I'm done. Final Take. And then just that check the gate in the film world means you film something, and if you like what you got and you think you can move on, you say check the gate, and that they're literally checking your what you just did
Gotcha.
or something like that.
No, that's it.
Cool.
And so that was just, yeah, check the gate, what we're done.
I got
Let's
you.
move on.
Which even more symbolically, typically it's not, like you said, when you're ready to move on. So that was after, what, 7 takes, 10 takes, 15,
Yeah.
You're
multiple tries. You finally go, all right, that's it.
Yeah, that's good enough.
That's really cool.
It's one of the songs, unfortunately. Like, I shouldn't even out this, but I might as well, because it'll be brought up maybe one day. Do you remember our song Blue? And that riff is so good. And then we're like, oh my god, that's another song. This
No.
is another song. That descending progression,
Really?
this is going to blow your socks off.
No, don't out this.
And I didn't know this. It's by a band we really like. And so maybe in a past life,
It's not.
I've
Young
heard
Giant.
this and it inspired me, but I didn't know the song, and I found it one day and I was like, I did Spatula City. Oh my god, you ready for this, dude?
Okay.
That wild.
I've never heard
So it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel okay with not stealing it because we don't know that album so well. It's a good song.
And also,
nonetheless.
but that's crazy.
I mean, I know everybody talks about like music. Like, there's only so many.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a good chord progression.
And
so-
the whole thing, the chord progression is there's that one note. What would that be? F sharp goes through every chord.
Gotcha.
So B minor, A6, G major 7, and then F sharp.
Nice.
Suspended 7.
Kind of stays on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the note.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Musically, that's by far the best. I mean, in my opinion, I'm the most proud of it. The solo is so big.
Yeah, it's the most musically, like, that one's for the musical part after all the lyrics and stuff is directed towards
David Gilmour knows
ears.
more than all. B minor is the easiest chord to shred in.
It's a lay on.
Easiest key.
And as the drummer, it's good take too.
Well, yeah.
It kind of changes so many different little genres.
Yeah, exactly. And that's very... Oh, that's true. Maybe that's what was so streetwalker about it. That little...
Yeah. And a little bit of the...
Knocked up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
I used that riff at one point. With that ending, again, I didn't perform it well enough, but you know exactly what I was trying. Just that little syncopation thingy.
There's a little something you hit, and I felt like it was about to go like Santana, like sort of.
Yeah, that in the beginning of the solo.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe
But just that style of like, you know how the way he plays leads is very
Absolutely.
like, I don't know.
Absolutely. The crescendo of this note though is hilarious. It's ridiculous. Because I use this David Gilmour, which Gear Talk, that was a happy accident. That was in stereo, and so the pitch pedal went to one amp and not the other. Oh. So it was cool to have like two different things, but it was doing the same thing. Actually, I gotta do the Pink Floyd thing.
I literally
in the major.
Love it. We're a second for that.
Yeah.
It's the ending of...
oh, that's true.
What am I trying to say?
Songs Full of Secrets.
Thank you. On that specific one, yeah.
They do that on Shine On too. Yeah.
Yeah, very into Shine On. Yep.
Yeah, that one I needed to do music. I've been so trying to like write songs versus just play music for since this project. So
it comes at the best time.
Yeah, exactly.
Your middle.
I don't know.
Is that the newest song?
It very well could be. It's a great question.
I think it's the only one I've never heard any.
Really?
I think.
Well then, yeah. I mean, that's a really good indication.
Maybe Realize I never...
Yeah, right. Realize is older for sure. The next track is personal fave, what is now called Ever Present, and what we always called Hate.
Oh.
Written...
Yeah, it's...
Written by Kyle. Half, because there is some changes here. What you call, like in your original lyrics that you sent me, is called Roids, is the song.
No way.
Which I love. It's
Roid at me down.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was called Roids. Like, I think we even called it that when we thought about playing it in Lynn Haven, because that's how old it is. I'm sure there are specific...
I just remember thinking of what are the most obvious stereotypes that people love to hate on.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully.
Like, no personal reflection.
No. Yeah, no.
But just these are, like, obvious ones that people love to say, oh, I hate that
like
type of guy.
The meathead. The Roy meathead. What a line, dude.
And then actual redhead.
Yeah.
Because at the time, do you remember, like, the ginger jokes? Like,
right.
People just love to hate on...
That's just, like, this song is, like, probably over 10 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, I really hope people don't think...
No, and then that's the whole point, is because I threw in some...
I would love to hear what you threw in.
Hates.
I'm so bad at my memory, I don't remember what.
Dude, but I love the fact that when you're... Because it switches perspectives, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
One's the devil's advocate during the verse, but, like, during that, that's when it's all frantic, and and then when it gets celestial, then it's like, hey, man.
Yep.
Let's not.
The fat old dude with the no hairdo. That's a good line.
That's a great line. I've never...
Just a mean old bald man.
No hairdo.
I threw in, see the guy who read, R-E-A-D, read, mouth for a head. Just the brainiac who thinks he knows all.
Cool.
And then the chorus comes in. Yeah, this darkness will settle in, leave and come back again until God knows when. And that's just, and that whole chorus comes from a Twilight Zone episode where this guy's going in for a hanging. He knows. That's why I'm looking at you. And before the hanging, the whole town goes dark, and it's in the middle of the day. And that's the whole vibe of the episode. And
Cool.
at the end of the episode, because they hate this guy that's being hung, long story short. And at the end of the episode, they like, it's a, what do you call that, radio, news, whatever. And they're like, this darkness is over. And in the 60s,
I think I remember
mentioned all of the spots. And they even mentioned Birmingham, Alabama, darkness is there. And it's just the hate. The hate is the darkness. So that was cool.
That's a really cool tie-in, yeah.
Back to our personal Chicken Blue thinks she's a dude. That's just so good. I had to keep it because it's so modern.
Yeah.
The blue hair.
Well, and because the line is, I hate that guy already. Like, that's funny.
Thank you.
I love it.
Jock in red, or did I mean, yeah, that's good.
Oh, my bad. It was...
See the big black frames in the American games. They can mean a myriad of things.
Yeah.
I mean, as a blanket term, it's just a politician, so
Very much.
that's just acceptable as it is.
And then obviously, if you're, I don't know if this is a South thing, but you play for the National League or the American League, that means something. When I was growing up,
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's still the case.
I
We'll cut
like-
that if you have.
Yeah, we'll see.
I like big black frames. That's funny.
The second chorus, I love when people do this. You say the same thing you did, but then it continues. So it's darkness will settle. The second part is this ever-present darkness, something we all harness. It should wake up and alarm us. That's such a that's good alliteration as well. And ever-present is a
So that does fit even almost better now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, yeah.
What's that verse? Ever-present darkness. That's just pull from that. I'm not gonna say it's from the Frank Peretti.
I was thinking, I was literally.
But that's what he's pulling from as well.
For our Starkle's not against whatever that one is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Against
not
the
against
rules.
flesh and blood, rulers and authorities, principalities.
And this is the only one that was like intentionally modern. Because again, me and you rewrote this song in 2020, 21, somewhere in there. And the last line of the verse is, see the masked up face, color, creed, or race. I hate that guy.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the verses are the masses, and the choruses are what we should be doing.
Or keeping with the theme, it's that side of you that can flip that switch.
Absolutely. And that recording is from the old house as well.
Yes.
This was going to be on the first album as well, and for just whatever reason, maybe it was too long, but it also was going to end the Cowboy trilogy, as we call. And it just didn't flow
And I'm
uber
glad
well.
it fits very well in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little edgier.
Yeah, musically it's cool.
It's just so cool. The
It's
syncopation of that first verse. And yeah, that's what I told him. Every verse is a different thing.
Yep.
So the first one's the crazy syncopation with the bass.
Yep.
The second one's... which was always the idea.
Yeah.
And Nerdyville, let's just go into Nerdyville really quick with music. The first verse, the guitars are doing, one's doing the regular da, ba, da, ba, da, and the other one's just doing the beats with us.
Yep.
In the second verse, those two guitars switch completely, and they switch back the third.
I love that.
The second verse is just normal. There wasn't a good theme. Let me see. I love the bass line. You will have fun playing it.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, we this was a Lynn Haven song that we never played, which is odd. And so you never got a chance.
with it.
Yeah, you never got a chance to really dive into it.
But I even meant to comment to you, just between us, that ding, 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 is
So
exactly where my... Because
Good.
I don't know about you, when you're listening to music, you play your instrument
Sure,
as you would in your head. And so as I went to do it, it happened, and I went, oh, yeah, it's great.
Nice.
It's exactly what I would have done.
Very cool. Yeah, just tight right there.
It was 70s
Boom,
disco.
boom,
Just
boom, boom,
real tight.
and then that third verse opens up to full. Yeah, when we recorded this, I had very specific drum ideas in mind and couldn't perform them, and that's why I said you need to do this. And you just did everything so
at the
perfectly.
end. Yeah.
The whole song it's just
It's
so perfect.
That is you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I knew exactly.
At his old house.
Yeah, that's like 4 years ago. The ride pattern is just so rad in the choruses, and I can't do that. Do. I mean, that's
Little bell.
something you would do, and so that's what I kept hearing.
Yeah.
And then it does that cool little pause thing, and then just all out. I tried to slap, it doesn't work.
The little walks like he would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
The first solo is really cool, super chill, and then that second one, dude, just opens up to a world. And then when you come in with that, like it's only like 2 bars maybe where you're playing full kit again, and then it just floats away again.
It's so just so Nathan Followell. I don't know.
I don't have much to say else about that song. I love it a lot. And it ends in a very positive way that I hope the message of the song is positive, even though it's I hate that guy, it should be a positive song. That's the song.
Any feedback on that?
No.
Okay.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. I was scared.
If you listen to the lyrics, you'll know it's a positive song, but
so really, if anybody comes after you, you just need to know that they're ignorant.
I guess. Well,
and I'm glad you didn't name it Hate That Guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Read the lyrics.
I forgot our running name was Roy's. That's very funny.
I love it. That's so funny. Mom this morning said, she's like, there's one where your vocal's like really aggressive. I just skipped that one. I was like, Mom, that's like
skipped it.
I was like, that's the most
like, how do you
positive song somehow on the record? It's gonna be. I'm really interested to see how to play it live because we haven't done that fully. And you remember, we'll have to do this live. That song ended with that crazy jam
that he doesn't like.
Okay. The next track is called Smile and Wave, known to these. Next track is Smile and Wave, known to these 3 boys in this room as Knox.
Yeah.
I love what you've done with the verses. In terms of, it used to be a lot, let me think. And yours is like, it slowed down.
It gets to that point eventually for sure, but
it's more, I don't know. Yeah. Groovy, I guess.
Another Kyle track.
Groovy.
Now this one I did notice, because I'm so bad at my memory about lyrics, but this one I like that you threw in some of your own.
For sure.
It's fun for me to listen to. And
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay.
Why, I was going to ask this publicly, because y'all remember, why did we choose 3124?
I don't know. That's what I like about the song though, is finally on this specific record.
He's got smoke coming out of you.
The intro and the outro.
I remember. I just don't know what the
I thought you were trying to figure out what I was talking about.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm literally...
This one, even when I got to upload it on the computer, it's I put all of our names on it because you definitely helped write it.
It's funny, this song and it's the original Knox that you mentioned, this is the most, I feel like, collaborative effort when we wrote it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what reminds me of those days in the front Beardsley room.
Absolutely.
Because we've got so many like iPhone recordings of us playing it. And some so slow and some so fast.
Yeah, right.
It's tweaked each time.
Yeah. I put out a video of like demos and working versions of the first album, and I'm going to do the same for this one. And I have like one of the first ones.
The original.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, the bass line in the intro, not the verse, but just those musical parts, is my first version.
Yes.
So that's what was cool to me. Because I was expecting my, the last version is what is in your head. So yeah, exactly.
The missing track.
But I heard that I was like, what?
Yeah, it was kind of just a conglomeration of things.
But it was definitely cool to hear.
So what is it about?
Yeah, this one I changed to like just choosing not to be annoyed with the world state.
So what should you do instead?
Smile.
Sorry, I still teed it up.
There's some really cool lines I'm going to look up. These people you hear who only shout and scream, turning serious discussions into
memes.
Jokes and memes.
I love that,
I took that one personally a little bit.
Jeez. I used this line again. I didn't realize that. They've got a mouth that's bigger than their head, headed straight to the grave. They say kids these days will never know what it's like in our day.
Yes.
Boomers yell at computers and always complain.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Dude, that's great.
And then, never mind anything that's said. Everything's an opinion that's gone to your head. Keep on moving, better behave, put on a face, and smile and wave.
Also, isn't that one of the Penguin phrases?
Yes.
Smile away, boys.
That's all I
smile
picture
away.
when I hear it. I threw our Watley word couth in. Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
Luckily, there is universal truth. Love it or you hate it, with or without couth.
Yeah.
Just because it rhymed and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Pony up, you've got a
Yeah, the song is just so fun. It's so classic.
And this actually kind of makes me take back the first statement I made of this whole thing, which was the first song's the most poppy. Like, this is pretty close in terms of,
Yeah. This is one of those that
accessibility.
just when I finished it and like uploaded it, I was like, my God, it's like 5.5 minutes long.
Is it?
And it's like a little pop song.
Yeah.
I mean, that bridge is kind of lofty.
Wait, so was there an answer to the 4-1-3 whatever?
No.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Okay, that's why I was sitting here dying because I was
genuinely
like,
I think it was just
Are we just being weird?
cool. You
Okay.
know. I think we did the intro for sure, and then on the outro we said, let's just flip it.
Reverse
That's
it. Now,
for
Yeah, luckily production-wise, it really that first 3-1-2-4 is just like a wall of chords.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool.
very cool.
You could ask Lindsay the first listen through. I was like mid sentence and stopped. She got ill, but I was like, "Is smiling away what I think?" And when I heard it, I went, "You've got to be kidding me! I didn't know that was going to be on this."
I didn't need. Okay, like the actual song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She was like, "What?" I was like, "You don't." And then she was like, "Oh, is that one of your?"
Yeah. I don't know why I
said,
didn't
"Get outta
think
here."
that would ever make a cut. So it was cool to hear.
Next track, we do back to back to back because Ever Present was before that. Hustle was up next.
bro.
Dude, this thing rips.
Okay, I was
Oh
like,
my
this is
gosh.
the most.
That's 3 in a row that Kyle wrote.
You wrote the last one.
I'm gonna be stingy and take credit for the solo chords.
Yeah, on the percentage of this one, it's like Kyle 60, Carson 30, and then I gave me 10%.
Of Hustle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only thing I feel like I helped you with was, hey, let's double time to do the solo. You had everything written, and then you do the changes at the end. Well, and you two do weird rhythmic things too.
Which we discussed. You did alter the bass line and change the DNA.
It really upsets me.
But listening to it again today, especially on a speaker, like the ripping it's the most fuzzy and like just hard.
That's what it's. I told you. I think I worded it well. It's the worst sounding on the record, but in the best way.
In the best way.
It shreds.
But yeah, instead of, so I'll even break it down. Instead of ding 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 with his ding ding ding, it's now you're sliding up to something. I don't even know what you're doing, but it's like
Yeah, there's no
it's
sliding.
like more drawn out. But I was like, it's different and weird. Like,
It's like a modern take on it. Yeah.
yeah, but I like it.
Absolutely.
I really hate that. Why'd you change it?
Well, he can't be like us.
Yeah, obviously,
Wait the whole
like I
time
said,
just to
written by
believe
Kyle about the guy who took the route of after high school going to work, and how that sucks.
The way you
In some
screamed
cases.
$19K a year. I went. That's
He
I love
emphasized that was good.
it. For just this much.
That one I double tracked, maybe the whole thing,
Really?
just for maybe not though. I don't know.
Cool.
Just for added. Yeah.
That one I'm always upset about. That was obviously just a work. I'm Mr. Working title. The first thing, and that's what I write
Yeah.
as the title, and it's somehow stuck through all.
It always, yeah. Well, that one is absolutely acceptable. It just
gets it over with.
It's
in the
almost
first
like
line.
onomatopoeia somehow. Hustle is just such a.
But then the actual lyric is he hustles.
That's all you mentioned.
That's it.
But that's what.
But then we
never
cut
thought
the
about
S
that.
off, and now it's just called hustle, which
That's crazy.
reminds me of the video where you go hustle. The football.
This is, without saying at this point, it's an old Lynn Haven song that we've been playing for years. A crowd favorite to that one guy. I don't think we.
And that slowdown at the end was more pronounced than it's ever been.
It's the same
That's
trick
right.
I had to use for SDH where I had to like manually manipulate the tempo because I'm recording with Click, you know, and yeah, I had to like drop it so many different ways.
Was it
And Kyle recorded this one as well.
on drums? Was that one or two short than what we originally used to do?
That the slowdown. I think one measure, like one full.
I feel like we did one more.
Well, mine's correct.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Like,
So we probably did like 5.
Correct.
or-
like why
Yes.
did we do 5?
Because we can do.
Yeah, we probably did.
Maybe it wasn't slow enough, and we were like, let's just do one more.
That's probably good.
This one's cool. I don't think you can tell in the right ear. Because I tried so many times. And I was like, screw this. This is too freaking hard to play drums. So I did a take where I'm doing absolutely basic stuff. And that's in the right ear. So there's 2 drums.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. No fills. Just full 4/4
Gotcha.
pretty much all the time.
For just that part?
The entire song, there's 2 drums. But it's a very basic, like, one mic.
And this was recorded at your old house, drums, right?
No, this was recent.
Was it?
Like, November.
At your current studio?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've recorded this song so
That's what, yeah.
many times. Keep burping.
But this take on it rips. It's a good one.
Yeah, it slaps. I like the new middle solo. It
Dude,
sounds crazy.
you hit something that it was, yeah.
It's 2 takes.
Track, yeah.
Yeah, and one's got the octave fuzz, so it just sounds like Hendrix, you know.
Yep.
Man, I wish I could pinpoint. I could find it when I listen to it.
I'm glad
Later,
you said
but-
Hendrix. You know, that's where I wrote it. The first chord is,
A.
Oh, true.
it's that position that
Oh, I wanted to
I know
mention
it's
this.
an E, but what is it, like
It's E.
7/9?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 with the sharp ninth,
Yeah.
which I don't know how it sounds good, but
The
it's
Hendrix
just
chord.
somehow rock and roll.
What was the
now.
other song we in Lynn Haven? It starts with
Yeah, Haze.
Haze, yeah.
Which I don't think I'll ever record,
Mm-hmm.
but if we ever like played live, like we'd play live. On the original, when we came up with the double time, because we were writing out the sections of the song, and on that one, it was called Lemmy. Which I don't even know. I mean, I guess they go double time at some point, but we called that one Lemmy.
I remember originally, long time ago, Dad loved the ending, how we ended the slow down.
Yeah.
He always said, like, that's such a Lynn Haven thing to do.
Cool, yeah.
I don't know why that always stuck with me.
I imagine that's the one that a lot of our women don't like, is Hustle.
Yeah. It's very much about the male struggle
Yeah.
of a
Cool.
17 to 20-year-old.
Yeah, right. Cool freaking line. Drop the cork, rum, beer, snort, smack attack.
Stupid.
It's crazy. It's so rad.
Yeah. That's an old song.
Very good.
Wow, yeah. This fits perfectly too.
And also, yeah, because I mentioned a lot of alliteration I came up with. You have one of the best with 2 years later, he's sitting in the field with a big John Deere. 12 hours, about 19K a year. So he settles back with fam back in Sweet Home, Alabama. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for the movies, and here's a game out. You're looking forward to these on his knees.
Yep.
Good line.
Thanks.
Dang good line. All the way
I'm kind of
through.
aware of what you said earlier. Like, wow, y'all collaborate well.
Yeah, right.
Like, when y'all do that. Dang, man.
And so that
I
one.
should keep feeding him
I wonder what
lyrics,
track-
and then he runs off and makes a masterpiece of it.
Yeah, I'm glad it ended up this way. For whatever reason, track numbers. Are you autistic with those? Like,
Not the. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
Hustle was always number 9, regardless.
That's one I don't.
And it's number 9.
Cool.
Luckily, I don't think that was
That's
intentional.
cool.
I don't think I intentionally did that.
But I remember you saying that weird.
It's just a number 9 track.
He said this. We wouldn't have. We love this song and we wouldn't have put it on unless it would fit this like number 2 or 3, whatever it was.
Yeah. Cool. Hustle was one that was also on the first album. And I said, no,
Yeah.
it's too hard. And it doesn't even fit this one either, because the rest of the song is really polished and big sounding. This is rock and roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is.
But it needed some hair, the whole record did, so it...
This is very much hair. It's
Glad it's there.
it rips.
Steel wool hair.
And I think it's intentional, the track listing of the next one's so sweet and open. It's Realize. And on this, I go pee. Realize is one of the most, brutally obvious
I think it's my favorite.
songs. Yeah.
It's
It's good.
It's the spiritual sequel
Of Worry?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally it.
Yeah.
Because did I describe it as riding in the back of a van on a trip in that thing I wrote?
Oh, right.
I don't know if you wrote it, but whatever that song is, that's the, yeah.
Absolutely. It's universal. You always have somebody that you're incredibly close to and they just lose sight of what's real. And that's just my favorite one.
But you're on the outside going, oh, man.
One of my favorite lines is, here and now is where you live and maybe where you ought to be. It's brutal.
Yeah. I love the the guitar melody matches this vocal melody.
Yeah.
It's just so flow.
That
so cool.
guitar riff came from came from living with Will and Phil in that house.
Oh, cool.
Just that riff I had.
Gotcha.
That's a really...
The old Phil and Will fills.
Yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's
I love
a good one, and it's
how's it end?
Expansive. It ends in a really cool way. I don't hit the hi-hat until that moment. And you'll appreciate this just because we always talk about stuff like this. That's the end of the album, and the last song is the epilogue.
Yeah,
epilogue.
Whatever that was. Yeah,
Gotcha.
And in the same exact way, "Lost to You" is the prologue, and the first song, in my opinion, was always the SDH riff.
Gotcha.
That was always going to open our album.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. And then it ends.
But that's what I was gonna say. When you dropped out and the synth little swell back in, it's when I was listening to it the very first time, I was already digging it. And then that, I was like, oh, it's exactly what I wanted to happen at this moment. And you did it, and I was like, yes, let's go.
Because I've recorded that was like a 2020, the year song. And it was always just a big pause and then a
Gotcha.
which is cool too. But I kind of did that better.
That's cool.
That's Iris synth that I finally fixed up. And it's literally, I hit it and you can press into it and it goes,
cool.
You can do that ground. That's an E flat. The next song is an A flat. So that's the now before track is I just needed to modulate from E flat to A flat.
Gotcha.
Although the last track, That's the Way,
Ora Prima
is quite old. Oh, I wanted to show you where that came from.
Yeah, it's from like
real
Zeppelin's like 4th album.
Yeah, exactly. The amp's broken when I'm playing this. It's so cool. You can.
That's
so
like
I had to tune down for that one because when I changed keys,
it's high.
I couldn't. That was way too high. So it's an A flat, but didn't change his keys. I think it's so cool to.
There's a lot going on to where that's the only one on this album that the first go through, I was like, that was one, and now I gotta go back through it.
Yeah, go back.
It's
and
so
start picking things apart, and I was like,
analogous. How do you say that word? Whatever. It's like the same vibe as the last track of Young the Giant's second album. It's just infinite layers of like synth is what it feels like.
Gotcha.
But that one is a ton of synth.
And I think this one, I've heard you play that one little riff.
Yeah.
But nothing else. It was cool to see it all come together.
And that one, it's kind of cool to end on like a meaningless song. It's just real lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Like nothing substance about it.
And back to Structure Sean. I like songs that.
But you fell off hard. You're not with this anymore.
I'm so sleepy. No, but you're feeling wise. You're approaching a chorus, and then it hits, and it's like there, and then it's out before you go. Oh, okay. Because it just goes back.
The chorus is feeling sick in the head. Was it something I said? And then that's it.
Yeah, and
there's no choruses.
Back immediately, and I'm like, I
thought that was cool. Choruses is like in pop world what people remember, and it's the opposite here. It's the verses.
We're talking about Raging Bull, right?
That's pretty much it. The album cover came from my break room at work. My boss Kurt just buys random like thrift store art, and so for the last year, just staring at the wall, I was like, man, that's just such a vibe.
Cool. And
it fits, I think, quite well.
It definitely does. So here's your first exclusive look at First Mouth. By Sonic Discovery Heroin.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's more to come, boys and girls and fish. Stay tuned. Any comments, any questions, put it in the comments. And I probably won't respond, but if I see it, I might. If I can't answer it, they will. Don't forget to look at that camera too.
3124 to you.